A forgotten civilization vanished for 2,000 years and rediscovered by accident by a man clearing his land. This is the story of the Olmecs, Mesoamerica's mysterious mother culture. MrDowling.com. History made easy. In 1862, near a small village in southern Mexico, a farmer struck something unexpected while clearing his land. He began to uncover what turned out to be a 6-foot-tall stone head carved with human features. By 1994, archaeologists will have uncovered 16 more colossal heads, all over 2,000 years old. That unnamed farmer had unknowingly stumbled upon the first recognized clue of the lost civilization of the Olmecs. The Olmecs first appeared about 1800 BCE in the hot, swampy lowlands near Mexico's Gulf Coast. They planted squash, tomatoes, and peppers, but their main crop was corn. As their farming improved, the population grew, allowing the Olmecs to build what many scholars consider to be the first advanced civilization in the Americas. We don't know what the Olmecs looked like or how they dressed. All that remains are the carved artifacts they left behind. In fact, we don't even know what they called themselves. The name Olmec comes from the Aztecs, an empire that rose in central Mexico centuries later. It means people of the rubber land, a reference to the region's rubber-producing trees. The Olmecs built the first pyramids in Mesoamerica, and they developed ideas that later civilizations, like the Maya or the Zapotes, would adopt. For these reasons, historians often call the Olmecs the mother culture of Mesoamerica. Archaeologists believe the Olmecs tracked the movement of the stars and laid the foundation for calendar systems used by later cultures. Their ceremonial centers may have been aligned with astronomical events. Some archaeologists believe the Olmecs created the earliest writing system in the Americas. Their symbols have been found on stone tablets, but so far no one has been able to read them. The most famous Olmec artifacts are the Colossal Heads. The largest stand over 11 feet tall and weighs nearly 50 tons. Each is carved from solid basalt, a type of volcanic rock, and believed to be a portrait of an Olmec ruler. All of them wear helmet-like headgear, and many have distinctive facial features. Some look calm, some are smiling. Others appear stern or angry. The level of detail shows that Olmec artists were highly skilled and that these heads mattered. Olmec artists also created human-like figures with strange features. Flattened heads, missing fingers, or hands shaped in unusual ways. No one knows exactly what these traits meant, but they may have had religious or spiritual meaning. The Olmecs played a ceremonial ball game, but we don't know much about how it was played. It used a solid rubber ball and required great skill. Archaeologists have found ball courts throughout the region, some surrounded by large gathering places, suggesting the game may have been tied to religious ceremonies. The ball game even appears in The Road to El Dorado, an animated film by DreamWorks. While this scene is fictionalized for humor, it draws on traditions that trace back to the ancient Olmecs. Later Mesoamerican cultures also built ball courts, but we don't know whether they played the same game or the rules changed over time. The Olmecs lived in a swampy region with no natural sources of stone. The basalt stone they used to carve the colossal heads was quarried from mountains more than 50 miles away. They had no wheeled vehicles, no draft animals, and no metal tools. Yet somehow, they managed to move stones weighing as much as 50 tons, dragging them through the jungle and across rivers. How did they do it? Well, we still don't know. What you're looking at are visual interpretations artistically imagined from the best archaeological evidence we have. And that makes their real achievement even more impressive. The Olmecs built 3 major cities, each eventually abandoned. The first is now called San Lorenzo, though that name didn't come until much later. It rose to power around 1200 BCE. When it declined, the Olmecs moved to a new city near Venta, but this one was also abandoned. A smaller site then emerged near the present-day village of Zapotes. It was here that the first colossal head was uncovered. Around 350 BCE, the Olmec population across the region dropped suddenly. We just don't know why. There are no signs of war or disaster, and the Olmecs left behind no records to explain what happened. They vanished so completely that even civilizations that followed seemed to forget that the Olmecs ever existed. Olmec cities were swallowed by the jungle, and the name they used for themselves was lost to time. When that farmer uncovered a massive stone head in 1862, he wasn't just clearing his field. He was uncovering the first chapter of a story he didn't know he belonged to. More than 150 years later, and thousands of years after the Olmec civilization ended, we still don't know exactly who they were. They may have evolved into later, better-known cultures, or they may have simply faded from history. Perhaps one day we'll know what truly happened to the mother culture of Mesoamerica. Be sure to subscribe for more thoroughly researched history, and click here to learn more about America before Columbus. There's a lot more history on my companion website, MrDowling.com. There you'll find lessons, handouts, quizzes, and interactive games. Browse through time and space at MrDowling.com.